Yeah, I mean, we probably employ three or four things. I mean, in many cases, if you're not taking advantage of the questions that you're getting asked anyway in
Mhm.
sales presentations or in email inquiries, or just somebody goes to your website and wants to know how something works. I mean, you should be collecting all of that information and start, in many cases you see on websites frequently asked questions. Well, hopefully those are informed, by questions that were actually being asked by people. In some cases, I've gone into organizations and said, let me look at your customer service or your salespeople's outbound emails. Let's look at the questions they've been answering,
That's
in
amazing.
many
Yeah.
in many sales things, and in some cases customer service. What are the questions you're getting after somebody becomes a customer because they don't understand how to use something, or they want to do more, or they're confused about what they bought even. I mean, those are all great places for questions. We also, about once a quarter, suggest that people have some sort of a process where they talk face to face or over the phone or however they want to do it, with a handful of customers, and just ask them, try to get into how they're using your product or service, what they're getting, what they're not getting, why they chose you in the first place, what you do that's different. I mean, that there are many ways in which you can collect this data, but you've got to make it intentional, or you won't take advantage of it, even though it's right there in front of your face. And the beauty of questions is, if one person's asking it, there's probably 10 people that also 10 other people that also have that same question. So making that in some ways almost the basis of your content plan,
For
quite
sure.
frankly, is an easy way to make sure that you're producing content that will truly be valuable. There are some tools. I mean, obviously, just if you go to Google and start searching a question that you think your customers might ask, they will suggest other questions. There's another tool we use all the time called Ask the Public, and
Answer
you
or answer the public or ask.
Answer the public,
Yeah,
answer the public.
answer the
Yeah,
public. Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, answer the public. Which you can go in there
Mhm.
and put in a term, and it'll give you some ideas about the questions people are actually asking about that. So there definitely are some tools, but boy, your customers, or prospects, quite often are asking the questions, if as long as you are mining them and tabulating them and answering them.
That's one of the things you mentioned in your book. You said, "Don't even think of doing" that was in duct tape marketing, not in the
Yeah.
last one, but don't even think of making a sales online when you're a small business. Everything happens outside of it, offline precisely. So that's exactly what you say for customer questions.
Well,
Which
yeah,
is
and look, just to clarify that, I mean, obviously everybody's online today, and that's the way a lot of people start their journey. They go search
sure.
on Google, they find your business, they look at your website, they kick around a little bit, and then quite often for local businesses, then they pick up the phone or fill out a form or something, and the transaction may ultimately be done in your office or in your store. But they got to that point of wanting to do the transaction quite often, completely through an online process.